Morning of my surgery, a bit nervous, and we'll see what happens. Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dan, I'm a junior doctor currently living and working in London, and today we're going to be talking about my hernia operation that I had last week. So if you're new here, please like, subscribe, comment down below. This is my new hobby, seemingly, doing YouTube channels where I discuss things that I find interesting, a lot of them having a bit of a medical theme. So if that sounds vaguely interesting to you, or you just want to stick around for me being a bit of a lightweight with a general anaesthetic talking absolute garbage shortly, then please stay to the end and share it with your friends. So the first thing to talk about is, what is a hernia?
This sounds like a hernia.
A hernia is essentially a pokey out bit.
Go to the doctor.
No way. Okay, look, if I'm gonna go to the doctor for anything, it's gonna be for this thing sticking out of my stomach.
When we're talking about hernias, we're normally talking about the abdominal wall, so the tummy, and often what happens is someone will be lifting something quite heavy, they'll have a bit of pain, and all of a sudden they'll have a painful new lump coming from the intra-abdominal space, so the stuff behind the six-pack, the muscles, the fat, and is poking through the abdominal wall, the muscle and the fat, to make a lump. That's a hernia. So I think the medical definition of a hernia is a viscus which is protruding beyond the cavity with which it should be contained, or something like that. But I promise you, I don't know what a hernia is. Hernias themselves aren't the end of the world. They're quite common, often seen with advancing age. You do get some that are congenital. I think mine was probably from birth. Typically, they're normally in the groin, they're normally in men, and they're normally a bit older than me when they have them. Things that put you at risk of hernias are things like chronic steroid use for inflammatory things, which make all your tissues a bit weaker. Equally, smoking can do that, and like having a poor nutritional status. So if you're an alcoholic or malnutrition, then that'll probably put you at risk. And then also having a reason why you're constantly increasing your intra-abdominal pressure. So having a chronic cough if you have COPD is like a classic example, but even like quite common, I imagine, amongst weightlifters. The reason why we do hernia operations is, one, for symptoms, but also to prevent complications. And the main thing with hernias is you don't want them to get stuck.
Yep, that's very tight.
And we call this first step is where a hernia becomes incarcerated, so you can't reduce it, you can't push it back in. And the problem with that is that then there is a potential for the hernia to develop what we call strangulation, which is where there's more swelling, and that ends up compromising the vascular supply to the tissues that are poking out, and then you get things like ischemia and necrosis. All of that is very bad. Essentially, if you have a hernia and it starts to hurt and you can't poke it back in, go see your GP or go to A&E. If we're touching on the topic, I feel like I need to say that. I've had a hernia for a number of years, so I know I've had it since at least second year of medical school. That's when I noticed it. I got a bit thinner, and I noticed that I had this lump, which wasn't a six-pack, unfortunately. It didn't cause me any issues, and often it didn't really poke out. It was just like I was aware that there was a lump sometimes. Over the years, it did start to get a bit more painful, and then I had this mysterious episode where I was vomiting. And one of the issues with hernias is they can cause symptoms like vomiting and bowel obstruction. Now, I'm not saying that I did have that, but I reduced the hernia and things got better. So I saw the GP, I was referred, and I got it done electively last week. It was a day case surgery, so I was always planning on not staying the night. All went really well. I want to just say thanks to everyone that was involved, and actually really, really impressed with the service that was put on. So, morning of my surgery, a bit nervous, just getting to Tooting and then getting a lift to Kingston, where I'll be having my hernia repaired. So before the surgery I had to fast, so I couldn't eat anything that morning and I couldn't drink any water. So the first chap I met was this guy. He was the anaesthetist, and their job is to basically keep you alive during the surgery with the use of drugs for analgesia, so pain relief, and also sedation, to try and dampen down your body's response as the surgeon cuts you open.
From the anaesthetic registrar, just want to see if your operation's going that's right.
Right, yeah. So at this point he asked me a few questions and did a pre-op assessment to check I was safe for an anaesthetic.
Looks like a small one. Is it hurting or not?
It just occasionally gets caught. It's always been reducible, but...
Yeah.
So next I met the surgeon who was actually operating on me, and she examined me and saw where the hernia was.
Relax. Give me a cough. Yeah, whatever. So Daniel, when we do this procedure, as with any procedure, there's a risk of bleeding.
She then went through all the risks and the reasons why we were doing the surgery, and this is called gaining consent.
Okay, now we'll see.
Thanks,
You'll be
do you want me to get
first one. Yeah,
changed?
you'll be first one.
Consent and capacity is quite an interesting topic, and if you're interested I can do a few more videos on that.
I hope I'm not wrecked after this. Like and subscribe, comment. How do you think I'm going to react to the general anaesthetic? Good, bad, really vomiting. I think odds are
So I was pretty nervous, but I was walked through and then very quickly I was asleep. When I initially came around, I was in recovery, which is just a place that you go after having an operation. I had some oxygen on and I slowly sort of woke up. Pretty quickly I came to and didn't really have any pain. It was just kind of figuring out where the hell I was, and then they wheeled me back to the place where I had been before.
Any hot drink?
I will, but just in like 10-15 minutes. Just
No worries.
take it slow.
Do you want me to sit you up a bit more?
Slightly, that'd be great.
So I was pretty drowsy at first. I was really scared of being really sick because that had happened last time I'd had a GA. But looking back, I was actually quite drowsy, quite out of it, but I didn't really notice that at the time.
So it was just a very small defect.
Yeah.
In fact, we had some difficulty in finding it because it was so tiny.
Oh, really?
Found it was just a bit of fat popping out and that was getting trapped. So just put 2 stitches and some fat stitch and skin stitch. Take it easy, as I said, do not lift any heavy weights for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then back to normal.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Really appreciate it. And you've made me feel very comfortable, so.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Alright,
Take care.
take care.
So before I leave you with this drugged up version of myself to close out the video, I just want to thank everyone that looked after me, and for anyone that's going under a surgery, I hope this video was helpful to give you an idea of what to expect. Follow all the instructions before the operation and I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. Thanks, like and subscribe.
Can't wait to see my killer 6-pack. Still got a sense even. I think anaesthetics make it funnier. It's just come off FaceTime and I was actually cracking some absolutely great jokes. So I also feel very confident. So I feel, struggling, I don't know, struggling with chirping or game. I mean, I'm taking that, but having an anaesthetic, it just makes you feel great about yourself. You just don't give a I probably shouldn't include any of this. This is all garbage. Chatting absolute. I've got verbal diarrhea. Don't want to turn the camera off. God. How embarrassing. Thank you to everyone that's looked after me. Actually, genuinely, staff have been fantastic. Thanks to everyone that I didn't meet who's also looked after me. God, just switched up from a comedy sketch to a DMC. I'm such a deep guy. Anyway, try not to laugh because I've got a hernia that I need to heal. I need to shut up. See you later. Alright, I'm out. All done.